Breaking news today, ladies and gentlemen. It's not surprising. It's not even slightly surprising. But what is surprising is that the BBC told us about it for a change. Breaking news. Tolerant and diverse Afghan asylum seeker found guilty of abducting and diddling a 12-year-old girl in Nuneaton, UK. Weird that, innit? Weird. It's only the 200,000th time it's happened. I mean, you can't blame the government for not seeing it coming 40 miles away, can you? Oh, yeah, and just for my American viewers, I've seen an uptick in them lately. BBC is a reference to the British Broadcasting Corporation and not an obscene pornographic reference that's often used in America. Although, with the amount of foreign men moving to the UK, getting a free council house and then nipping into town to surprise sex the locals, in this day and age, you're probably more likely to see BBC on the BBC. Ha! I apologise for that last joke. I know it was in somewhat poor taste. I don't think they'd go full frontal and show you some BBC on the BBC. But they will show you Hugh Edwards' arse cheeks, so, you can scratch your itch if you're that way inclined. On to the story itself. Here he is, duty Afghan, doing the obvious as soon as he breaks into the UK legally. And the government don't care and they do nothing about it. Bear in mind, it was one of them that was already a wanted man who killed a young Royal Marine recruit. So, full disclosure, I'm not entirely impartial about this type of thing. In fact, let's be honest, I'm sick of reading about Afghans doing this to British kids. I'm sick of reading it. These type of stories with illiterate third world peasants moving to the UK, breaking into the UK, and then savagely assaulting kids, they are more ubiquitous than picnic wrappers all over the floor of David Lammy's car. There he is, doesn't look shifty at all. I'd trust him in my country. He's got an honest face. You can come round and Roger my sister, Ahmad. Sorry, I'll stop ranting long enough to get the story out honest. An Afghan diddler was found guilty of abducting and surprise sexing a 12-year-old girl in Nuneaton. Ahmad Mulakil took the girl to a cul-de-sac and carried out some extremely horrific sexual offences. At Warwick Crown Court, he was found guilty of the full English of horrific ignominies carried out against innocent children, and the government helps them. Yeah, they do. You know this, they do. Sadi Khan, he might as well spit on that thing, to quote Hawk Tour, and help guide him in. As far as I'm concerned, he's as guilty as the bloke doing the diddling. Co-defendant? Oh, isn't that a weird name? I'll tell you what, that's a very strange name for a foreign sex pest in the UK. I've never seen that one before. How do you pronounce that one? It's too hard to pronounce. We'll just go with epileptic, pot-bellied warlord midget. Kabir, also an Oh, really? Really? You do surprise me. He was found not guilty of strangulation. Jurors at the 10-day trial heard evidence from the victim who said Mulakil laughed while attacking her. The case prompted changes to guidance on reporting the nationality and immigration status of people arrested and charged. What? So are you telling me that the British government work in cahoots with foreign sex offenders to, for the last 35 years, make it illegal for the media to tell you the nationality and immigration status of people that have been committing crimes? Why would they do something like that?
Some of it was fun.
You deserve that, Shabsy, so wind your neck in. There were widespread protests in Nuneaton because those details about the men were not reported by the authorities when they were arrested. Oh, really? So they tried to hide it from the public. You do surprise me, BBC. Mulakil arrived in a small boat from France 4 months before he did the obvious. Listening to the jury deliver its verdict, he could be seen crying in the dock. Oh, boo-hoo diddums. He'd have more than tears coming out of his eyes if I was in charge, because he'd be wired to old Sparky with 40,000 volts going through his plums, to the point where you'd have little teeny tiny sparks blasting out of his skull cavities. Remanding him in custody to be sentenced next month, Christina Montgomery, well, at least the judge doesn't sound like she's foreign for a change. She said he will plainly receive a substantial custodial sentence. It's not plain. It's not plain. You give people that say nasty things on Twitter longer jail sentences than you give full-blown diddlers, Miss Montgomery. So it's not plain at all. We don't trust you. In fact, You're a lying sack of rats, and you've probably got the IQ of a pork pie, just like the aforementioned Miss Shabzy Mahmood there, who covers for her brothers and sisters in the religion of many, many pieces, obviously. And don't even start me on Lambtron.
If it feels like neighbourhood policing has vanished, it's not around you. We haven't seen a police while I've been here, and I've been here for a little while now.
Yeah, if he ran an old people's home, everyone in there'd be dead by Friday. The man is a joke. And he's been deleting records from all this type of stuff. Apparently, there's another big news story today. I haven't really got the time to cover it, but it's happening. He said after he's done his sentence, his trifling, paltry sentence, he'll be automatically liable for deputation, liable. But will he go, though? Will he shite? The arrest of the men prompted Reform UK leader Big Nige and Warwickshire County Council leader George Finch to claim there'd been a cover-up of details about the attack. I love the way they tell you in their own story that there was a cover-up, but then they use words like to claim there had been a cover-up. Just a ridiculous claim. Just a ridiculous claim. We haven't just told you 2 paragraphs up that it definitely happened, and the media and the government are in on it. They just told us that. You can see they don't hire proofreaders anymore, can't you? Christ on a bike, this is ridiculous. Farage then called on police forces to share the status of charged suspects, as they should, and should always have been doing. But Warwickshire Police said when someone was charged with an offence, they followed national guidance that says never share their ethnicity or immigration status. Yes, because the government's covering it up. How many times do I have to tell you? Pay attention, you dopey twat. Sorry, nobody watching this. I do, of course, mean the imbecile writing it. Hundreds gathered outside Nuneaton town, or because a little kid got fingered because of you. Because of the BBC and Sky News and Channel 4 and the Daily Mirror and all the MPs and all the judges and all the lawyers and all the coppers. And thank God I'm not in charge, because the aforementioned Mr. Sparky would be running 24/7. We would have nationwide blackouts because of the amount of people I'd be toasting if I was in charge. So we best pray I never run for office, although I think I'm barred on account of the fact I'm not on the sex offenders register. Ah well, I'll have to just stay here where it's safe. The jury was told Mulakil was hanging around like they all do, got nothing to do, approached her when she was playing on the swings. She told him to stop, he just started laughing. She was saying, get off me, didn't say anything. This is unbelievable. Stomach churning, revolting. I can't even read any more of it. I'm going to blow a gasket. I'm going to blow a gasket. Hats off to these patriots here. There's also some more details that the BBC left out. I'll play you them, but, I'm going to have to mute it before I blow a gasket.
Martin, this case changed the way in which information is released when it relates to illegal immigrants or asylum seekers involved in criminality after they've been charged, because there were widespread protests in Nuneaton in the immediate aftermath of this horrible attack. And that has now meant a change in the law in which some of the information regarding the ethnicity or immigration status of an individual who's been charged can be put out into the public realm. Well, today Ahmed Malakil was in court to hear the verdicts returned against him. The girl herself, when we heard videotaped evidence from her, spoke of being absolutely petrified of the fact that Ahmed Malakil laughed as he was attacking her, raping her and sexually assaulting her. Today, Martin, he wasn't laughing, he was crying in the dock as those guilty verdicts were returned.
Good. Maybe cries for years in prison where he belongs as an absolute maggot who's destroyed someone's life, 4 months in this country. Justice has been served. Thank you, Mark White, for joining us on the show from Warwick Crown Courts on another day where our children...
I will say this, you've got to love the GB News lot. Do you remember when they first came out? I remember making videos about it. This must be 5 years ago or something when they first came out. And the BBC and all the snooty lefties were saying, oh, they've got no chance. And I said, they'll take over the UK airwaves, because you don't even have to be right-wing. They're not particularly right-wing. They have Benjamin Butterworth and all these daft lefties on there all the time. You just have to attempt to tell the truth, and the people come flocking because everything else is just full-blown propaganda, which the BBC piece has just proved, where they concede that the government and the media cover for sex offenders and then make out as if Nigel Farage is making insane claims that can't be verified. It's unbelievable. Anyway, that's all I've got for you. I've said my piece. I think I've said everything that needs to be said. Our leaders and our media are in on it. They are covering for foreign sex pests and hardened criminals and kiddie fiddlers. Sadiq Khan is in on it. We know that it's happening in London. Grooming, trafficking. We know it's happening, and he's covering it up. By God, one day we will have our vengeance in this life or the next. I'm quoting Maximus there. No, it's going to be this life. I'm telling you. We're going to make it happen by hook or by crook, and thousands of them will be dragged across the coals for their evil, vicious crimes against the people, and especially the children of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. All right, we'll call it there. Oh yeah, last thing, in response to this post by me, Fetch Daddy's Shotgun, when I was reading somebody's harrowing accounts from the Diddler Gang survivors, I did promise Vinaigrette Tits here, who runs the Pink Ladies group for the Midlands and the set up charities for the victims. I did promise her I'd give her a shout out. It's the Rhiannon White Foundation. I'll put a link to their GoFundMe in the links below. And how do you end on a lighter note after that? Oh yeah, I've got some new merch on Dashery. Buy yourself a t-shirt. You can wear it when we go mob-handed on Judgment Day down to the Houses of Parliament and cackle maniacally as dozens of our pro-diddler leaders and the scum that was in on it, like Mahmood and Starmer and all the rest of them, get dragged out and forced into the dock while we all laugh. So yeah, do that. That's me for the day. Thanks for tuning in. Let me know how enraged you are in the comments, and I'll see you tomorrow. Toodle pip. Cheers.